Good night, guys. If you can fall asleep like me, let's fall asleep together. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna read another story, and hopefully, because of my soothing voice or my bad English or anything, will help you to fall asleep. Shortly to say, the story I chose, it's the story that I translated from my native language into English. This idea suggested one of my, should I say was suggested by, yeah, I guess it was suggested by, I learned it at school, was suggested by one of my honorable viewers. He said, hey Margo, well, that could be cool if you would translate story from Ukrainian to English. And I was like, well, you're wrong. No, I found it like a cool idea. So here we go. We're gonna listen to a story that calls Kozachka. And I don't know how can I translate it in English. I guess it's like a Cossack girl. Yeah, well, there is no translation in English because it doesn't sound good what I said, Cossack girl. No. So Kozachka, it's like a girl who was born in a family of Cossacks. So she is from No. That's not what I wanted to say. So Kozachka is a girl who was born in a Cossacks family. Okay? For the context, if you don't know who Cossacks were, who were the Cossacks? They were free warriors. Appeared around 15th, 16th century on the steppes between Ukraine and Russia. So it was like warriors, I would say just like community that was united by the people who valued and appreciated freedom above all. And of course they were good in martial arts, like, yeah. The very important detail for you to know is that they loved and appreciated freedom above all, because this is where the drama starts. So our Kozachka, the main character girl, she falls in love with a serf. Serf, I also translated it in English, but in Ukrainian it sounds like kripak. So who are serfs? Serfs, they are just forced to work for the landowner. Yeah, I'm reading about this, and yeah, I know this is my history and my culture, but I not educated enough about this, okay? Look, I had a history class at school, but I didn't love it. I didn't like it because I didn't like the teacher, because she didn't love me. Actually, she hated me. So here we go. Serfs were like slaves, but not exactly slaves. They were forced to work for the landowner. They also were legally tied to the land. They were not allowed to move without permission, required to pay taxes, labor, or products, and depended on the landlord for everything. But they could have their families, they could be separated from their families, they could be sold together with the land. It doesn't sound like a good things about them. I said they are not like slaves, but what I'm reading now, it sounds like they were just like slaves. They were anyways, it's like just a short history lesson for you today. I don't know if you asked me about that, I'm not sure, but it's very good to understand for the context, because this story is full of drama and it's so fucking annoying. Actually, it annoyed me a lot, and I was not sure if I want to read it to you or not, because this story hits differently if you are alone, if you are alone on Christmas or on the New Year or Valentine's Day. I don't know when do you watch this video, but this story will hit you differently. It's tragic, it's depressive, it's bad. But you know how they say in my country, if you feel bad, you just find someone who feels worse. So, shall we begin? Yeah, let's go. There lived in our village a Cossack named Khmara, a true strong man. What fields he had, what cattle, what wealth of every kind. But the Lord did not grant him a handful of children. Instead, one single daughter was born to him, bright as the sun in the sky. That's so painful to have no kids, but just a daughter. That's They cherished. Did I say cherished? Did I mention that English is my second language and my reading would be not aesthetically pleasing? So I just mentioned it. So it's on you, okay? It's on you. They cherished her, nurtured her into a graceful, tidy young woman, and raised her with a good mind. Olesa was now entering her 16th year, and suitors had already begun turning up at their doorstep. The old parents thanked them for their kindness, treated them warmly, yet did not promise the girl. I mean, she was 16, it's understandable. Let her enjoy her youth. No. It's a father. Yeah, he says the words. Okay. Let her. No, did I change something? I'm not sure. Okay. Let her enjoy her youth a little longer, so she may later remember her maiden days with joy. It is too early yet to burden her young head with worries of a household. Do you think so? Let her be a girl a while more. Oh my gosh. The father is so conscious about everything. That's great. That's good. And what a number of suitors she had. Merciful, merciful Lord. Oh my God, did I pronounce it correctly? Merciful Lord. Okay, whatever. Wherever she walked, the air hummed like a swarm of bees. And she herself, what a girl she was, tall, lovely, kind, and gentle with everyone. So, like a people pleasing. I think we can say she was a people pleaser. She would speak sweetly, smile, joke. Yet, when she noticed something strange or improper, she would cast such a look, as if dousing one with cold water, and walk away. If you have a partner who is Slavic, you might understand completely what does the look mean. She lived with her father and mother, knowing neither grief nor sorrow. Is it neither or it's neither? I know it's different when you speak British and when you speak American. I think it's neither or neither. Okay, as they say, youth has no heavy thoughts. Her only concerns was how to enjoy life merrily. Merely. But as pleasant and carefree as life had been, she too was destined to taste her share of misfortune. Of course, it's 18th century, baby. It's Ukraine. It was Ukraine, and yeah, everyone just tasted a share of misfortune. No, everyone tasted misfortune. First, her mother fell ill. She was already quite old. After 2 weeks of suffering, she passed away. And after her, the father died as well. Yeah, you have to be prepared that in Ukrainian stories, a lot of people die, usually, like in Game of Thrones, of sorrow and longing for the faithful companion with whom he had spent his youth. Olesa remained an orphan. She wept and wept, yet had to get used to her new life. Kind people did not forget her. An old aunt would come and comfort her. The village girls would run in, chatter cheerfully, and sometimes pull her along with them. autumn arrived, suitors still streamed through Olesia's house. You see, that's the point why it's getting annoying. One leaving the doorway, another already stepping onto the threshold. Again, autumn arrived. Autumn arrived. Suitors still streamed through Olesia's house, one leaving the doorway, another already stepping onto the threshold. Yet she continued to thank them and turn them away, one after another. We can understand her, like she lost her parents, so quickly and suddenly, and both of them, and man, they don't understand the grief she's going through. They're like, let's choose us. We're gonna fix your feelings. Why don't you marry Olesia? Asked the old aunt. You have suitors, thank God, like flowers in a garden, enough to dam a river. Why act so proud? Our young men are like eaglets, lively, handsome. Even an old heart rejoices at the sight of them. So how can a young girl's heart stay silent and not inclined toward any of them? I no longer understand what kind of world this has become. I always mess up with these words like world and word. So sometimes when I mean words, I say world and vice versa. Auntie dear, she's 17 or 18. I have to be younger than I have to sound younger, right? Which is a good start. Auntie dear, let me enjoy my freedom a little longer. Am I sound like a princess? A little bit, right? Okay. It's time, child. It's time. I have to also choose a voice for the auntie. Because, she's old auntie. I'm going to stick just to my own, just to my voice because it already sounds very, very mature. Okay. Like, it knows the life. It's time, child. It's time. Listen to an old woman's counsel. Counsel? It is merry to live alone, yes, but with a beloved husband, it is even merrier. Oh, okay, now I understand. Merrier. And don't be afraid of running a household. You'll be working not for strangers, but for yourself. Even the chores will feel sweet. Look, that is a Ukrainian village, 18th century, and people lived like that, okay? Yeah, the purpose for women mostly was just to take care of the house, do chores, take care of kids, and that was the life, okay? We cannot judge them for that. You cannot judge it, all right? Even the chores will feel sweet. You are no serf, thank the Lord. You... I really love the way I said, thank the Lord. I was so expressionate. Can I say expressionate, by the way? It was full of expression. Yeah. Expressions. All right. I no longer understand. No. I lost it. Oh, sorry. I lost it. Something about the Lord. Oh, okay. You are no serf, thank the Lord. Your labor will not be in vain. Not a serf, as if being a serf means the world is lost. People live all the same. They live, Olesia, but what kind of life is that? We can understand auntie because you remember, yeah, who serfs are, right? So yeah, and that's the debate about it because Lesa is from the family that valued freedom, yeah, and now she's about to fall in love with a guy who is a serf. Okay, so and auntie is not happy with that. If the masters are good, then the people live well too. Oh my God. she's so delusional. And what good is it if the master are kind? What of their children who will follow? And even the kind must be appeased under the best of them. You toil your life away only to earn 3 spans of earth for a grave, and under the cruel ones. May the Lord save us from even hearing of such fate. It is too dreadful to speak of. Listen to me, Alessa, and let us dance at your wedding. Oh, how glad and comforted I would be if God blesses you with a family, with children buzzing around you like little bees around a blooming flower. Yeah, I would say that in my culture, mostly relatives, close relatives, our parents, they wait for the day we're gonna have grandkids, because then they're gonna have another purpose of life. That's how it used to be, and generally it's still like that even now. I will remain a maiden a bit longer, auntie. That's that. Okay. And then came matchmakers from Ivan Zolotarenko. Olesa honored the dear guests and offered them the ceremonial towels. Yeah, that's the tradition, to offer the ceremonial towels. This Ivan Zolotarenko was a serf, yet he had grown into such a handsome, lively young man that one would never guess he had been raised in the bitter soil of bondage. Everyone immediately guessed whom Alessa had been waiting for, and murmurs spread across the village like water bubbling in a spring. How can this be? Where has such a thing ever been seen? Who has heard of a free Cossack girl marrying a serf? The old aunt heard and struck her hands against her apron in horror. Okay, I didn't get that part. The old aunt heard and struck her hands against her apron horror. All right, okay, I can picture this, okay. Can I do that? It's like her hands against her apron, like this? Or it's like this? Okay. Well, she was not happy with that, okay? That's for you to know. Heaven help, no, it's like, I think she would pronounce it like she is about to die. Heaven help me that I live to hear such a thing. My child, my Alessa, come to your senses. If your father or mother were alive, they would sooner drown you in the deepest well. Their very bones would tremble in the earth from fright and sorrow. What have you taken into your head? Someone must have bewitched you. Yeah, this is also the cultural thing. If something is wrong with you, like you have another opinion or something, you are bewitched. And so the old woman pleaded with Alessa, coaxing. Should I say like coaxing? Coaxing. That sounds like a cox, I don't know. Begging and weeping. That's, thanks God, I read the story in advance in Ukrainian, so I would understand the plot. Because the previous one, the Christmas Carol, I haven't read it in English like ever. I have never read it. I have never ever read it in English. So I was very confused with each sentence, but now it's like more understandable, okay, to me. Okay. No, my dear auntie, Alessa said firmly. There is nothing to be done. I will go to Ivan. This is the phrase I will go to Ivan does not sound in English exactly the way it sounds in Ukrainian. And this is like a very, I would say, authentic phrase to say. It's like, it would be more like, I will go with Ivan, you know? No. not with Ivan. I will go behind Ivan. Yeah, I will go behind Ivan. This is how it sounds in Ukrainian. So in English, of course, it's I will go to Ivan, like she's going to his house to play PlayStation. I don't know. The old woman ran to Petro Shostozub. Shostozub. To Petro Shostozub. But he was gone. Off to the... He died? Oh, no, not this one. Off to the fair. No. He was gone off to the fair. Does it mean he died? Because I told you in Ukrainian stories, a lot of people die. Oh, no. Fair. He was gone off to the fair.
He was gone off to the fair.
Fair, not fair. Fair. He was gone off to the fair, not died. Okay. What misfortune? Why? Because they were expecting him to be in the house. Okay. And Petro Shostozub was the foremost man in the community, already very old. God, white as milk. White as milk, okay? Like pale, but white as milk. Have you ever used this phrase in English, white as milk? Let me know in the comments. She went to Andrei Honta, not there, to Mikhailo Didych, gone too. All were at the fair. Yeah, people were celebrating. They didn't give a shit about the marriage situation, about the serf. They were like living their happy life. Oh, my unhappy hour, my wretched moment, I shall try Opanas Bobrek. He was at home, lying in the garden beneath a pear tree, puffing his pipe. Seeing Olesa's aunt, he called out, "Greeting!" No, it's a guy. Greetings. Oh, I should sound like a Santa Claus. Greetings. You look well. Are you rushing to some fire? May God help you, Master Opanas. I have come for your counsel. Advise me. A sudden misfortune has befallen us. Gather a council. Gather a council for women. The whole community would be like a teat without sense. Gather yourselves. And whoever speaks loudest, that's who will be right. That's how things were solved back then. Oh, Master Opanas, this is no mere female whim. A great misfortune has come upon us. And she told him everything clearly. Even the cheerful, carefree man could not remain unaffected. He, too, was concerned, of course. The whole village was concerned. That's how it works in Ukraine. Like, I think it still works like this. Maybe a bit less dramatic. But yeah, if you live in the village, everybody knows you. Even if, for example, if you're a new one and you come to Ukrainian village, they would probably ask you, whose are you? Like, who do you belong to? It means, who is your family? Tell me the last name, so they would understand what type of person you are. After that, the villages would have like a general conception about you. Depends on your family. Okay, let's move on. And she told him everything clearly, right? Indeed, he said, this is a foolish girl. It is plain. If she seeks any trouble, it is never for another, only for herself. Come, Master Opanas, perhaps she will listen to you. If not, we shall make her. Here is a hat. Let us go. They went, and along the streets people thronged so quickly that they could barely pass, all heading to Olesa's house. They urged and begged. Do not marry serf, do not, if such a step you take. No, why kids are so dramatic? It's not like kids talk. They would be like, do not marry a serf. Do not. If if such a step you take, it would be better to leap with the bridge from the bridge into the water. I hope so. Yeah, that's how I picture kids usually. I don't have any, so that's how I picture them. I will not repeat it again because this is so hard to perform. And the young man blocked the house. We will not allow the girl. They shouted. Oh, they shouted. We will not allow the girl. They shouted. We will not let the free. Guys, remember I told you, I'm gonna help you to fall asleep? Forget. What about the shouting thing? We will not let the free Cossack maiden not be shackled to shame for the people, nor a disgrace to her village. Oh my gosh, I'm so talented. But all their pleading failed to sway Olesa. Only their insistence saddened her more. Listening to their sincere and reasoned counsel, even as she refused, saying she did not rely on wealth, for she had enough herself, nor on freedom. My God, I told you she's so delusional. What does it matter? She said. If he is free when he is not dear to me. Yet tears flowed freely from her eyes. Girl, as I see it, girl, as I see it, you cannot be persuaded in a year nor over two, said Opanas Bobrek. Now he's gonna be gay. Now Opanas will talk like, girl, as I see it, you cannot be persuaded. I'm sorry. I'm just joking, okay? Don't take it personally. It is sad what good is a woman's mind capable of. Oh dear, dear, and no more. And what a choice you have, yet you do not heed. I have no words to waste. She does not listen. Farewell then, and without testing the waters, do not rush into it, lest you're drowned. Lest, or it's lets you drown. Lets you drown. Lest you drown? Drown. What is last? I thought it's a mistake. Lest? Lest you drown. Okay, that's a premium subscription, okay, for English. Having said this, the old man returned to his house beneath the pear tree. The people began to disperse. Only the old aunt remained in Olesa's house, weeping. Night embraced the earth, the moon rose and cast its bright light upon the white houses. Olesa, troubled and restless, opened the window and looked out. The young man had surrounded her house in a ring. Others talked and laughed, while some sat sullenly. Oh my God, I thought it's gonna be easier. It's gonna be easier if I would just translate it into English because I already read it in my own language, but no. It doesn't work this way. Sullenly. Okay, sullenly, heads bowed. You know why I'm checking the words, how I pronounce them? Because when I do short videos out of long video, and when I gonna generate subtitles, they would automatically put the wrong words. Subtitles just don't match my words. It's just crazy. Okay, Lesa looked though, closed the window, and went out, the aunt following her. Standing on the high threshold, Olesa spoke to the Cossacks. Gentlemen, she said, I have known from childhood that you were competent. I know, childhood that you were competent and careful in all things. Yet I never expected such insult from you, Cossacks. That you guard me as enemies, leading an orphan into shame. Where is a fair contest, I could understand, but against a helpless girl, you will earn no glory here, gentlemen. We did not expect it either, Olesa. called a tall, burly young man stepping forward. We did not expect that the daughter of old Khmara would marry a serf. If our young men were not to your liking, you could have said so. Oh, no, it's a guy. The guy say it. Okay. If our young men were not to your liking, you could have said so, began another, a handsome, sparkling Cossack. We would have found someone else for you. We would have traveled all Ukraine to do so. Who says who? I beg you don't know, grieve my father young as I am. Listen to my I hear voice and elder even if you guard me. Oh, okay, it's a girl. It is a pity to search when God has already sent me one, both for love and for life. Whatever fate has decreed for me, wherever fate has decreed for me, that shall be, and I will regret no one. Remember this phrase, okay? Even if you guard me for a year, I shall give myself in the next to no one but Ivan Zolotarenko. Depart, dear Cossacks, I beg you, do not grieve me further. Young as I am, listen to my aunt, her wise and elderly counsel. Okay. Depart, my bright falcons, said the old woman, weeping. Oh, no, it's like weeping. Depart, my bright falcons, said the old woman, weeping. Nothing can now be done for our misfortunate children. The young man murmured and dispersed. Yet the elders of the Zolotarenko family were angered. Of course they were. Never have we heard of such in good families, they said. They offered the towels, agreed, and is this right to comfort? Cossacks and no costumes. We may be serfs, but we shall defend our own. Who else will advise an orphan? Replied the old Cossacks. If not we. It would be a great sin from God if we did not dissuade her from this misfortune. She did not listen. God be with her. The foolish girl will regret it bitterly, and then she will remember us. Oh my God, my tongue is broken now, okay? But by the way, who do you support more? Are you side of Cossacks or your side of Olesa? Let me know in the comments. Who would you support? Would you support Olesa with her decision to marry a Serb because she loves him? Or would you support Cossacks to try to find a better match for Olesa and they think that they know better who is more suitable for Olesa? And we move on. In the morning, Olesa went to gather her bridesmaids. Everywhere she went, she was refused, of course. Some cried. Some mothers would not let their daughters go because they thought it's contagious, okay? Some girls would not go themselves, and those who did all sighed and pitied Olesa. Our young lady will have no merry maiden's night. The wedding finally took place. They walked through the village, inviting everyone. At the same time, people returned from the fair. Oh my gosh, how long they were. How long they were at this fair, because it seemed like, okay, Olesa had a talk with Cossacks. Olesa also is about to get married. She prepared everything. And men only now returning from the fair. Petro Shostozub, Andriy Honta, Mikhailo Didych, and many others, Petro with white hair walked ahead. Though very old, he was still tall, straight, and alert. His eyes shone like stars. He asked a passerby. It's like passerby. Okay. What wedding is this that has happened here? This, said the man, is the daughter of the late Khmara, married to Ivan Zolotarenko. Zolotarenko? What kind of Zolotarenko? a serf, Petro, a subject of the Petro, not Pedro, okay? Petro, a subject of the Lord Suchomlinski. I need a coffee because the drama is unrolling here, so I need to calm down a little bit. I told you I read the story, right? So I think I don't take all that. No, actually, no. I don't want to spoil it for you. Spoiler, not spoil, but spoil also a good word. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you and spoiler it for you. So, like, I recommend you to listen to the story until the end. I know that you might be a bit confused with my English. I understand it. I am confused with it as well. So, but you're gonna see a victim, the problem of a victim program from the side, on the side. No, it's like from the, I don't know how to say it. Is it like a from the side? No, from the side. Oh yeah, that's right, yeah, from the side you're gonna see the problem of the victimization, from choosing to be a victim or to stay a victim even when you had a chance to not be, but you like stay as a victim because you find it kind of easy. That's my opinion personally, that you find it easy, as in this case you can blame everyone and people and fate for being not very pleasing to you. You know what I mean? So I told you this story annoys me a lot. I hate this story, but at the same time I feel the urge of reading it. I don't know why, but something just was telling me like you have to read the story. Okay, I know you don't like it, but still, we have like a toxic relationships with the story. I have toxic relationships with the story. I don't like it, but I feel like I need to read it, and that's why you hear the story as well. So, but maybe you'll find that you have completely different feelings about it and completely different emotions about the story. So you let me know. So what about that? Zolotarenko, what kind of Zolotarenko? A serf. Okay, the old Shostozub was deeply saddened and said nothing. Others cried out in grief and frustration. The young couple came together. It was now proper to greet them, as God willed. They bowed and invited them to the wedding. Petro lifted his tall hat. May God help you, he said. May the Lord bless you with fortune, happiness, and health. And money. He forgot to mention and money. That's important. The young couple thanked him. We beg you, honorable sir, come to the wedding. No, young princess, he replied. I will not attend your wedding. It is not fitting for an old man like me to revel at weddings. I thank you for your kindness. Such a bitch. No, that was his choice, okay? No judgment here. Andriy Honda, a quiet, solid man, said to the young man, Oh, Ivan Zolotarenko. It's just only two Ivan here, but I added like more for the authenticity, okay? What have you done, my friend? Do you have no sense of a girl's heart that you did not consider the future? And so ruin both the girl and all her kin. That is why they call her an orphan, free and yet drowning in misfortune. He shook his white head solemnly. And why not celebrate at the wedding? Said Opanas Bobrek. Oh wait, Opanas Bobrek. And why not celebrate at the wedding? Just forget it. Just forget. I'm sorry. Hands on his hips. What a pity it would be if we did not. Let us enjoy ourselves. You careless old head, said Petro. Think, you would revel where good people grieve and weep? Well, brother, said Opanas, you cry and you sneeze. It's no jest, Master Opanas, everyone shouted together. Okay, now I have to do the shouting scene. It is no jest, Master Opanas. Everyone shouted together. When such thing happens, respect your white hair, if not the Cossacks. Oh, enough. Truly, we've made a fuss for nothing. If we are not going, then we are not going. If we are not going, then we are not going, okay? And I shall not. But a Cossac's daughter ought to have Cossack dances, and with you I cannot agree. What a pity. The young couple stood, their eyes locked, not glancing at anyone else. May the Lord, who is that saying? May the Lord grant you good fortune and luck. May you be healthy as water. Okay, that's such an interesting comparison, but okay. Rich as the earth and live long with good sense, beautiful newlyweds. These elders bowed and returned to their homes. The young couple went on their own way. This is the story. This is when everything's starting to unroll. Okay, the lovers were sorrowful. They looked at each other. His face was pale, her eyes heavy with tears, and they held each other close. They just got wed. I mean, they just got married. Like, they loved each other, but they were already sorrowful. Like, what is that? I told you that doesn't matter. My love, he whispered softly. I feel as if I have bound the whole world for you. Just now? You feel it just now? After the wedding, really? My dear, Alessia replied, my precious husband, whatever God gives us, that shall be. Only let me spend my life with you. The next day, they went to pay their taxes, I guess. No, they went to pay their respects to the masters. Alessia saw neither greetings nor advice, nor a beloved and cheerful glance. The lords were stern, proud, and swelling with arrogance. What she was expecting, like, no questions. Be obedient, they commanded. Can I do the voice of Sirius Black? So it would be like, be obedient. No, that's so bad. Can I do at least Voldemort? Be obedient, they command. Be obedient. Let's just be like this. Be obedient and devoted to your master's work. Alessia felt a strange sadness and unease, and then fear struck her. She would indeed be a true servant. Her youthful years would pass in vain. Her beauty, once so radiant, would wither in daily hard labor. That's it. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Okay, no, I have to finish it because look, that story will not let you go. Just believe me, you have to finish it because it's like a curse. Would wither in daily hard labor in bondage. Walking through the village, it felt so quiet and sorrowful. God, Alessia remembered how it had been in her own village. Greetings from neighbors, jokes from some, complaints shared by others, old people chattering, young people laughing, children clattering about. At the slightest hint of sunlight, the village came alive with sound, movement, and joy. And now, whoever she met was sullen, silent, and melancholy. Her mother-in-law treated Olesya kindly as if she were her own child, not knowing where to sit her or how to please her, yet could not cheer her young daughter-in-law. The old woman was worn down by hard work and poverty. And no, not and. Even her cheerful words failed. Sometimes she told tales of human misfortune, sometimes lamented her own. She insisted that in this grand, beautiful world there was neither good nor beauty, nor justice. Even to speak with her husband was difficult. There was never a free moment. He was always busy, always gum. He was always gum, okay? He was always gum. Oh my gosh, I should put it on the thumbnail. He was always gum, okay? The story that will break your heart. He was always what? Even to speak with her was difficult. There was a free moment. He was always gone. Always gone. Coming and going, like a guest returning home. What she was expecting, again, what was she expecting? He was a serf. He was like belonged to the landowner. Okay, the landowner chose what he's gonna do, what job he has, how does he spend his time? How does Ivan spend his time? I mean, like now I'm getting angry with Alessa, honestly, because because why? And things grew worse, of course. The master began expanding the house. He had purchased a family of people and they needed accommodations. You, he said to Zolotarenko, go to the yard. You have a small family and if you wish you may build to yourself. You have married a rich woman. So, he just stole the house. Right? The master, yeah, the landowner, he just took the house from them because they don't have kids, and he purchased a family of people and they needed to live somewhere. That's the story, kids. Okay, yeah, I still write it. No, that was a long time ago. I'm not that old. They were moved to the yard. Then God blessed them with a child. Oh my God. Not God blessed them with a child, but not using any contraception. That's what blessed them with a child. I know, I'm not stupid. I know that back then there was no contraception. Okay, I understand it. I don't know, by the way. Maybe not condoms, maybe pills or like some herbs, maybe they use some herbs so they could, prevent having a kid. But also, I don't know, were they educated about how kids are made? I don't know. Okay. Then God blessed them with a child, a little boy. Olesya held him to her heart, tears streaming. Oh my God, she's crying again. My son, my beloved child, you would have played in the world, enjoyed its beauty and splendor, felt joy and comfort, yet your bitter bondage awaits. Already in your swaddling clothes, they will command you, restrict you from your freedom, my dear flower. You will wither before your blue. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on this because I'm gonna be so rude and I don't want you to see it yet. Alessa lived a year, then a second, then a third, and a fourth. God again blessed her. Okay, God blessed her with children. 3 sons, as strong and sharp as falcons. But what suffering she endured. How many tears she shed over them. Mother of God, Yeah, let's all be so sorry for Alessia that she had such a horrible life. I'm not sure. Okay, look, guys. Maybe I could be judged for not being heartful enough or not maybe understanding fully the picture of those times, and maybe she didn't have a choice, but it seems like she had a choice back then and she could marry anyone, right? But she consciously decided to marry a serf because she was in love with him. I don't know, maybe it's because of the age, maybe because of the parents' absence. I don't know, maybe because of the social pressure. Maybe she wanted to go against what people say, you know? I don't know, but for now, that's what annoys me a lot. Like, I think the writer, the author, by the way, the writer, I hate the word author. I don't know how to pronounce it. So, the writer of the story is Marko Vovchok. It's a woman. And yeah, and what I wanted to say, wait, I don't know if Marko Vovchok wanted me as a reader to feel, I don't know, bad for her, for Alessia, to feel pity or and support her why she had such a bad life. I don't know what was the intention, but I feel completely opposite. I feel so annoyed by the choice she made, and if understanding that she had a choice, at least, you know. So that's me. Olesa lived a year, then a second. Okay, we know that she has now 3 kids, 3 sons. But what suffering she endured, how many tears she shed over them, Mother of God. It is sad that when a child suffers, the mother's heart aches. She went to the corvée, leaving them behind. One could not speak, another could not walk, the third could not yet sit. Tiny children with no one to care for them. How they survived? The question, how they survived if she was at work and the kids were small and no one took care of them. How they survived? The old mother-in-law who had gone to rest the same year Olesa married was gone. Days passed in labor. In the evening, she would rush to her children, fearing they might not be alive or well. Yeah, I understand. I understand the point, right? Had it not happened that one woman lost 2 sons at once, plain by the pond's age. The children grew, and as her burden lessened, another misfortune across. Master Semenka, young master's prying displeased her, or the ladies called in Tishko, running about, bowing incorrectly. Oh my gosh, I don't understand this part. I hope so you understand it. Every day her children were restless as drums. Even when a day passed without punishment, her heart was uneasy, anticipating sorrow and misfortune. When the children reached the age where they could help and comfort her, they were taken into their chambers. From that time, Olesa had no joyful moment, no peaceful sleep. Only from that time, day and night, the dark-haired boys appeared before her eyes, exhausted, pale, sitting silently in their rooms, without sound, play, or chatter. If they moved or spoke, the masters would shout, "What is this noise? I will teach you to sit quietly." The little ones were frightened and fell silent. Every day Olesa wept small tears. Every day. "My children, my flowers, you have withered before blooming." Their wealth was sold and the money squandered was so much needed for such a family. Yet the lady gave nothing and grew angry. "You," she said, "must have your own. You married a rich man. Your father there is enough of everything. If you pity the children, clothe them yourself. for I have plenty to spend without you. Her husband, overwhelmed by despair, fell into a state of a complete apathy. He became dull, impervious to fear or pain. At first, grief nearly killed him. Oh my gosh, that's like, look, killing people by then was so easy, even with the words, with the grief. People could die literally from the grief. More than once, Olesya pleaded with him, weeping, begging him to spare the children, not to harm them. Wait, are we talking about Zoltarenko, her husband? Because I was like, husband? Whose husband? I think she's talking, she's begging Ivan Zoltarenko, her serf, like the husband. Ah, okay. But he lost in sorrow, forgot himself, and would rush out of the house pale, eyes flashing, a figure so frightening one dared not look directly at him. Yet with kind words and gentle touch, Olesya would calm him. He would gather her and the children to his heart, and the tears would flow freely. How can I even comment this? That's such a, I think that's, yeah, I don't know. That's the story. Definitely, when you write such a story, you were inspired by something. I mean, like, not like inspired by something, but you've seen things, right? This story could be really based on real life events. So this could be a story of every second, third family in Ukraine back then, you see? So, yeah. Once they mourned together when a new calamity? What is calamity? Calamity? Column? Is it calmness? Is it calm? Calamity? Ah, no, it's different. It's opposite to calmness. Calamity. Oh my gosh. Calamity. When a new calamity struck, the master prepared to leave, traveling all the way to Moscow, and took Ivan Zolotarenko with him. No police could prevent it. He was ruthless, merciless, such that bowing one's head was futile. There's so many new words to me. And I feel like when I read it, you just don't understand a word. Do you understand, guys, when I read it or not? Let me know. Futile? Futile. It's a futile. God, that's a futile. My children, Ivan said, bidding farewell. Farewell, my bright falcons. Respect your mother. Care for one another. Harm no one. Farewell, my beloved children. My dear wife. Remember me not with anger me. The wretched man who cast you into this abyss and now must leave. May your tears be spared me. So he just left. Yep, he just left. He was like, ooh, I'm gonna go to Moscow because I can. No, I understand he was a serf and he didn't have a choice to leave. But it sounds like in every third or every second story I read in Ukrainian. I mean, lots of Ukrainian literature has kind of plot like this. When a woman suffers, struggles from the broken heart or from the poverty, or I don't know, she's a victim. She's a victim. That's why I'm not fancy Ukrainian, like classical Ukrainian literature, right? The modern Ukrainian literature I love. I have my favorite authors, but I really don't find it fascinating to read old Ukrainian literature, classical Ukrainian literature, because of this. For me, it's like glorifying victimization, and I hate it. Okay, I think when you have a choice, accept that life is shit, or whatever is going on right now with you, whatever you got yourself into is like shitty, and you just accept it and you understand the consequences. Another way, you don't accept it, you're like, fuck it all, you know what, I can change it, I'm able to change it, I'm capable to move on and try something else. But it seems like mostly people choose the middle way, which is, okay, this is shitty, this is crap, I kind of accept it, but I don't like it, it makes me feel bad, but I will not do anything with it. Instead, I will blame the fate for it, or people that I feel so bad. And this is very, I think, convenient position, as you don't have to decide and you don't have to do anything. And that's, as to me, that's how I see it. This is my personal opinion. Let's go. My children, Ivan said, bidding farewell. I said it already. Thanks God. Olesa did not weep. Of course, she doesn't have tears anymore, okay? She stood pale as a cloth. Eyes fixed on Ivan, clutching his hands, the master shouted, "Quickly, quickly!" Ivan held Olesa to his chest one last time and ran. And ran. I like the word ran. Just ran. Yeah, not like just gone, but ran. Only then did Olesa awaken from her stunned state. He was gone, far away. Only a cloud of dust marked his passing, and the children wept at her side. "My children," she cried, "my children, now you have no protector, no helper, left alone in the world." And children like, yeah, we know that, since we were born. Indeed, having someone close, a devoted soul, a faithful heart, made everything easier. But now she was like a lone blade of grass in the field. The village had kind people, yet each struggled with their own burdens and mourned their own misfortunes. The master's household could not care for others' sorrow. Only her old aunt might come, but frail, wrinkled like a dried apple. She stumbled and murmured, barely able to console Olesa or bless the children. Thus Olesa lived, laboring without pause, without rest. A year passed like a single hour, all at the corvée, all in toil. The mistress allowed no respite. Work, 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 work. Work, and more work. Wherever the servants labored, she went, carrying her little table, spreading cards, a constant amusement. She would sit, motioning only with her eyes, shouting, "Do you work? Work! Do not be idle!" Once Olesa managed to visit her aunt, who was ill. That day a fair was held in the village. She saw her friends, now grown women, dressed beautifully, proud as full blooms, men and children around them. The little ones played, some scattered nuts, others stomped in their new boots, laughing and looking boldly into everyone's eyes. Olesa stood alone in her old coat, separated from her husband, her children weary, their heads burdened with the hard work of the master's household. They had no toys, no clothing for holidays, and their mother returned with nothing to cheer or comfort them. Sad thoughts filled Olesa's heart. Yet friends approached. Hannah, Motre, Yavdokha, familiar companions from her girlhood. They greeted her warmly, asked after the children, and she shared with them a bun or a poppy seed roll. Thank you, Olesa said through tears. Since you have not forgotten me, may God not forget you. What were her thoughts? I'm curious about what were Olesa's thoughts when she saw women beautifully dressed, the kids that are happy, men that are alive and they are free. Like, Has she ever doubted her decision? Or has she ever thought about, all right, so maybe sometimes love is blind. I don't know. The second year passed, no word from her husband, as if he had vanished into the water. Olesa mourned, yet determined to go to the mistress, for letters were occasionally sent. She entered the room the mistress sat, absorbed in her cards, unaware of her arrival. Olesa glanced around. The same chamber with clocks, where she had once been young, adorned, a fresh flower of life. And now, oh my dear God, was this truly she? A weary, overworked woman full of sorrow and fear. All came back to Olesa. My youthful years are lost. She bowed. Gracious lady, be kind, tell me how fares my husband in a distant land. My God, exclaimed the mistress, you have ruined all my fortune telling. May you find no good. Why do you pry into my eyes? What is it you want? You have letters from the master. What news of my husband, Ivan? How clever you are! Does the master have nothing more to write but about your husband? What is he? How fares he? He sirs, that is all. Is he accustomed, gracious lady? Is he well? The young masters entered, sneering, and the mistress laughed outright. What are you thinking? She shouted at Olesa. Shall the master write to me whether your husband is well? Surely you are drunk or always foolish. Begone! Drive her out. Both young masters seized her and thrust her out the door. I will never see Ivan again, not hear of him, thought Olesa. We loved and knew one another in such an unhappy hour. Some Sundays later, a letter arrived from Ivan. All right, finally. Are you alive? Are you well, my beloved children? And you, my cherished wife? I am still sick. He is sick? Really? I might have died. I think back then it was an exit for men, from all the problems, just to die. Die and everything will be gone. But hope strengthens me to see you and my dear Ukraine. How do you live? Respect your mother, my beloved sons. Love one another sincerely. May God bless you all. I can send you no gift. I can send you no gift. Though I wear silver buttons, I have nothing. Do I understand it correctly? I mean, he wears silver buttons, but he cannot send a gift to his children. Right, I understand it correctly, right? When the master dines, I go hungry unless good people feed me. What can I say? Those who knew no kindness in youth shall know none to the end. She went to the parish clerk to ask for help. All right, said the clerk, I will write, but what will I get for it? She looked at him, a ruddy, round-faced man, cheerful, likely fond of revelry and drinking. There was no hope he would accept a proper reward. And what would you like, good sir? She asked. What do I want? 2 gold coins and a quart of vodka. Kind sir, please. Well, go to someone else then. We won't move. Right, please, write already. God be with you. Ivan awaits our letter. She began speaking and the clerk wrote. She shed more tears than she spoke words. So sorrowful was she that the clerk only shook his head. She shed more tears than she spoke words. So sorrowful was she that the clerk only shook his head and then said, Listen, young woman, shut the fuck. No. Listen, young woman, will you give me 220 Kopek coins and a quarter of vodka? Oh, kind sir. I'm done. I'm just done. It's been what? How long it's been? It's been hour and a half. Oh my god. Will we finish the story? No, it's gonna be the end. I promise. It's gonna be the end. Oh, kind sir, have mercy. There is still more to write. I haven't said it all yet. I'll write enough. But unless you bring 220 Kopek coins, it's no use. What will you take then, sir? Nothing. He's like, just go, because it's like a lot of sorrows for me. I'm in my, enjoy my life era, and like, I don't want you here. The clerk cried as if in frustration, then fell silent and added, I'm done. Now let's drink. Now let's drink a small glass to grief and misfortune. Thank you for your kindness, sir, but I don't wish to drink. May the Mother of God grant you health and good fortune. Thank you. Maybe she had to have some vodka, because I don't know she can keep it all, together. Don't drink. Don't drink. This story is not about deepen your sorrows in alcohol. No, it's not about that. It was in the 18th century. Wake up, we are in 21st century. We have a therapist. Well, then, young woman, I'll send you a letter by post. Where shall it be delivered? Must I give something for that? Nothing. They know you. They will take it anyway. The clerk sent the letter to Ivan, though whether the poor man ever received it was unknown, for soon news came from the master. Ivan had died. And one more. He wrote that the older son should serve the master's eldest young master, while the younger one was ordered to the capital. A flurry of preparation began at the estate. The young masters were red-dyed for the journey. Servants selected. It happened that the Zolotarenkos were summoned. Alexandra, or Olesya, was remembered only then, though no one had yet considered the heavy grief the Lord had laid upon her. She arrived. The mistress said, "Gather your..." I haven't read this part. I haven't read this part. I didn't know that. Gather your sons for the journey. They will travel with the young masters. They're gonna get the kids. Alexandra, or Olesya, stood staring into the mistress's eyes as if she could not comprehend, her face pale as chalk. The mistress, angered, cried out, "What's the matter? Deaf one or dumb?" The poor woman fell unable to... the mistress. "What's the matter? Deaf one or dumb?" The poor woman fell unable to utter a word, only raising her hands in tears when the mistress grew furious and lunged at her, shouting, "I will do this and that to you." The mistress raged as though Alexandra had committed some great crime. She had simply cherished her children as the Lord himself commanded. Yet she was scolded, insulted and driven from the chambers. Her broken heart, her suffering, no one knew, no one asked. The sons were to be sent into foreign land. Would they return to bury their old mother, or like their father, lie there unwept? Perhaps her bright falcons, the children she had raised with care, would grow careless in another household. I'm not sure about that. See strangers and never be cherished. Who would advise them? Who would teach them right? And there was the bitter lack of resources, no proper clothing, no shorts, no garments to see them decently on their journey. The last possessions had been sold, the children outlived it, and nothing left for herself. Finally, the children slept. Alexandra watched over them all night, weeping quietly and bitterly, the last night together. How long until she might see her beloved children again, if ever? The sun rose, the bell rang, and Alexandra, weeping, escorted the children, blessing them and making the sign of the cross. My young masters, she said, bowing to the young masters, be merciful to my boys. But the young masters turned away. They don't give a shit. Mother of God, mother of God, mother of dragons, cried Alexandra, weeping. I entrust my children to you, my sons, my sons. And she collapsed as if cut down by a scythe. Scythe? When misfortune marks a life, it is said that tears are long. So it was with Alexandra. She endured many more years alone with little Tishko. There was no news of the elder sons. Perhaps letters came, but the mistress said nothing. Oh, such a bitch. Meanwhile, the mistress sold the village and moved to the city, and Alexandra had to follow along with many others. I'm curious why the author switched the names from Olesa to Alexandra, because she became older, or what was the purpose? Or it's about her transformation, her arc transformation. I don't know. Had anyone guided her, she might have become free again, a widow, unbound. But now, what could freedom mean? Yeah, what could freedom mean? Alexandra fell into ill health, unable to work, while the mistress raged. Fool, you eat my bread! Then her anger deepened. Go where you will, she said. If you cannot work, do not ask to eat. Leave the estate and take the boy with you. Alexandra left the master's estate, taking Tishko with her. Oh, Tishko is the youngest son, so he stayed, and two older sons, they moved out. Okay. Oh, she said, the master's yard. May no good ever enter here again. Ah, wait. Oh, and by the way, she said, this master's yard, so may no good ever enter here again in all my life. She sought work, sleeping for a week under fences before finding lodging with a city blacksmith. The blacksmith sounds like a name for the band. The blacksmith, right? Was a quarrelsome man. He cursed his wife and daughter, and when drunk, all fled through the window to escape being beaten. He shouted, why should I not beat my wife or anyone else? All must be beaten, for I myself was beaten. Oh yeah, ring some bells, I'd say. I mean, that's a common thing in the society, you know, when we used to have such saying among older generation, like if he beats you, he loves you. Thanks God we don't have the saying anymore. We canceled the saying. Okay. Am I to blame? The wife would cry. How can you not be? One must answer for another. Such was the blacksmith she found herself with. If anyone had seen her then, carrying buckets of water up the hill, a small dark-haired boy at her side, would they recognize Alexandra, once a proud Cossack maiden, radiant and noble. She admired the new coins shining so brightly and hid them again for the children. The master needed to go far out to the farmstead and called Alexandra to accompany him. But how could the mistress allow it? She went to the mistress to ask for a note, and then the mistress said, I don't want to. I won't give you a note. I won't give you a note, and you shall not go. You must pay me. How much do you take? 2 rubles a month, mistress. Then pay me 2 rubles a month, and I'll let you go. But I need to clothe myself and the boy, and I need more than that. You may throw on some old coat and it's fine, but we must live properly. If you don't give me 2 rubles, you shall not go. And so she did not let her go. Give her the 2 rubles, said the master, and we will not wrong you. But the mistress said, I want 3 rubles. I want 3 rubles, and perhaps even for 3 I will not let her go. The master himself came and begged. I don't want to, and I won't, she answered. Finally, he went to the farmstead alone. May the world never know a mistress like yours, he said. Again, Alexandra was taken to the estate. Tishko was taken to the chambers, and she could barely see her mother, only sneaking a quick visit. Poor Alexandra grew gravely ill. She lay alone, no one to bring her water, lying in expectations of death. Only the old Eileen estate steward. Okay, that's English that I don't understand. Shortly to say, she died. Okay, she died, and no one helped her, and she lived her life in poverty, sorrows, and that's it. And at the end, she didn't know anything about her older sons, and she died by saying, my sons, my children, that's it. She lived weeping, she died weeping. That's the story, kids. If you felt lonely on Christmas, believe me, you are not lonely, okay? It's better to be alone than be with a serve. Now, you got the point. The moral of the story, don't be Olesya. Learn from the mistakes. Don't learn from, you don't want to learn from others' mistakes. Okay, that's fine. Learn from your own mistakes. I mean, don't be stupid. Don't just go with the flow. If you see that things are going too bad and you understand that you're losing yourself, you're losing your freedom or self-love, or I don't know, or you sacrifice too much, like really too much for nothing, and you have to just stop, you have to reflect and just choose another direction. Choose the direction that will make you feel happy. Or if you don't choose the direction that will make you feel happy, stay true to what you choose. Stay true to what you choose, and don't blame the fate for it. Okay, because the fate, it is something that you choose. I know there is in English that the definition is difference between fate and destiny, right? Destiny. So something that meant to happen to you, but something you choose, right? How things will kind of, what you're gonna do to have this or that. So this is your life. Live it like you want, but some things under your control, some things you can control. So at least control things that you can control. My gosh, that was so... I hope so you like the story. Subscribe. I'm gonna have more bedtime reads and bedtime thoughts. Bye.